What is up? The energy plug. So I'm putting this together for you so that when we start our day, we're starting our day with energy and we're feeling great. Here's the deal. I used to wake up and I would wake up and I was stressed out. I had a lot on my plate. I had a lot that people had to show up for, and I would show up as about 50% of myself. And what would happen is the individuals that depended on me, my family, my clients, staff, people that I meet for the first time, I would show up as a version that wasn't my best. And what we know is like the first interaction that you get, that's your first impression with individuals sometimes. And so I'm a big believer that when you go to sleep, you die and you wake up and you get to make two options. Those two options are, hey, I'm going to be alive today, like everyone else is just alive. They're going by, they're grabbing their chicken biscuit, they're grabbing their coffee, and they're just alive. Or you can decide to live today. And for me, I want to live. I want to make decisions that when I wake up, I'm taking control of myself so I can show up as the most elite version of myself. It's like when you're walking in to the phone booth, like Clark Kent. He walks into the phone booth, he comes out, he's Superman. It's like with the majority of men, they go out and they're hunting with a knife. I want to go out and I want to hunt with a Uzi, with a machine gun. I want to go out and I want to be ready and weaponized. And so what I'm giving to you today, it's simple. It's 10 minutes. I want you to run through it for 10 minutes. Now, let's say that, hey, this 10 minutes, I'm getting it down pretty good. Run through it 10 minutes as many times as you can. Or you can run through it for 20 minutes, as many times as you can. What this is a mixture of, it's a mixture of mobility. It's a mixture of some body weight strength training. And it's just going to get you moving in the morning time so that you can feel your best, so you can perform your best, and you can show up as the most elite version of yourself first thing in the morning. And as we do this more and more, and we get our nutrition in play, and we get more steps in, then we can start to feel better all across the board. We'll start dropping weight, maintaining the weight, whatever your goal is. And then what starts to happen is then we can start to open up our mind to what is more. What else could I do? How else could I improve? And we can start to look at, hey, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start taking more action, and I'll point you in the right direction from there, because this is just the first step. Okay, this is just the beginning of what I have for you long term. So, my friend, I appreciate you, and let's get right. All right, the first movement we're going to do is a Spider-Man lunge. Now, everything that I'm going to teach you is going to stay with us here. Is whenever we're stacking something, if we're going to a push-up, if we're going into this Spider-Man lunge, I'm stacking my shoulder, my elbow, and my wrist across the board here. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, all stacked up here. Now I'm on one knee. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring my foot to the outside. This is Spider-Man lunge. I'm going to bring this foot to the outside. I'm going to take this leg and I'm going to bring it back as far as I can. I'm going to rip those hips apart. Take this out as far as I can. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to come, open up. I'm going to drop my knee down to the ground. That's one. I'm going to go to the other side. Stack shoulders, wrist, elbow. Take this leg back as far as you can. Come up. Open up. That's two. We're going to do 5 on each side. 10 and 10. Biggest thing I want you to remember. Stack shoulders, wrist, elbow. Foot to one side. Take this leg all the way back. Lift it up. The hand that's next to my foot, and notice my foot's all the way on the ground. Okay? Boom, drop knee, come to the other side. That's our first one, Spider-Man lunge. Next one, we're going to keep hands stacked, shoulders, wrist, elbow. My elbows are always going to go back towards my hips. Now, I'm going to come up, push up. There's 2 different ways to do this. We're going to do 10 push-ups. I want you to go all the way down to the ground. Elbows go back towards my hips. I'm laying all the way down. I'm pushing all the way up. Notice I'm leaning over. I'm not way back here. I'm leaning right over, and I'm rowing my body down to the ground. Slow control. Push up. We're going to do 10 push-ups. If you need to, here I am in push-up position. All I can do is drop my knees to the ground. I can do still from my knees if needed. Now, same thing. Roll my elbows back. Press up. All the way down to the ground. Press up. We're going to do 10 push-ups. Next, you're going to flip over to your hips. I'm going to have my hands to my side, my palms up. I'm going to have my heels on the ground. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay back. I'm going to lift my hips up as high as I can. 1, 2. We're going to squeeze butt at the top. 3. We're going to do 10 of those hip thrusts right there. Down, hands out, head resting against the ground. I'm going to lift my knees and my feet off the ground as high as I can. I'm going to lift my hands and my chest off the ground as high as I can. We're going to do 10 of those. Then we're going to go into taking our hands out to our side. I'm going to reach my hands out as wide as I can. And I'm going to take one hand behind the back of my head and one behind the top of my back. Then I'm going to switch it, reaching out. We're going to do 5 on each side of that, 5 behind the head for each arm. Come in a 90-90 position here. Notice that I want to stay up tall here. So if you have to, have your hands on the ground. You can have your hands on the ground behind you here. What we're going to do is we're going to do a 90-90 switch so my hands can be on the ground if needed. I'm going to take and I'm going to replace, and I go 90-90 to the other side. Okay, we're going to do 5 on each side. Every time I switch, I'm going to lift up, and then I'm going to come down. I'm going to try to control my body. If you need to, you can put your hands on the ground, control my body to the ground, and then I'm going to switch. Pushing my hips through. We're going to do 5 and 5 of those. Last part, we're going to do 10 squats. So I'm going to tear my knees apart. I'm going to drive through my heels. I'm going to push my hips back. And I'm just going to sit, pause for 2 seconds. 1, 2, drive through my heels, squeeze my butt. We're going to do 10 of those. Now, as I said before, you can set the clock for 20 minutes and keep on going, but finish at least 1 round. I would try to get at least 2 rounds, maybe. If you get 1 round, then that's all you're good. That's all you got time for. Just do 1 round. Try to get 2 rounds of that, though. And if possible, go 20 minutes and push yourself a little bit and see how many rounds you can get in 20 minutes. Now we can make this also kind of a cardiovascular workout where you're trying to get as many rounds as you can, doing it right, and see and just keep focused that way. So we can make this as simple as we need to, and we can progress it as we need to as well. So get that done. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go from there. Have a great day.